Welcome to Franka's Fab Family. I am Franka and I have with me
Aniya.
And today we are making for you
French bread.
We are going to bake some French bread for you. The tools that you are going to need for your French baguette are a sifter, also known as a strainer, a half a teaspoon, a teaspoon, a timer. You can always use your cell phone, a dough cutter, a measuring cup, a spatula, a wooden spoon with a rounded tip. This is called a baker's couche, but you can also use a 100% cotton pillowcase, a new pillowcase that works just as well. You would see it later on in the video. You also need a cookie sheet that will hold the baguette breads when you have completed rolling them out. You would need a spray bottle and plastic wrap.
The ingredients that you will need are 25 ounces of all-purpose flour, a half of teaspoon of instant dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of table salt, 19 ounces of cold water, and 2 cups of flour to dust the counter.
So Aniya, are you ready to combine all the ingredients?
Yes, I am.
Very good. But first, let me tell the viewers at home, please bear in mind that a measuring cup has several different measuring components. You can measure by cups, liters, milliliters, or by ounces. We are using an ounce recipe. So make sure that you measure your flour by ounce and you measure your water by ounce, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have the sifted flour here. We're gonna combine, what's next, Aniya? Dry instant yeast. We're gonna pour that in. Good girl. Then we have
Salt.
salt. Regular table salt. If you are using kosher salt, you can use a teaspoon and a half. We're only using 1 teaspoon of regular table salt, but if you're using kosher salt, use a teaspoon and a half, right?
Yes.
Spatula, please mix, my lady. During this wonderful time of quarantine, and I hope all of you families out there are being safe, we have started to cook more together as a family. It's a wonderful opportunity to cook more, to share recipes, and to actually teach the children, many different skills that probably they wouldn't learn if we weren't in quarantine. Stir it, right?
Yes.
Mix everything well. Mix it up. Very good, Aniya. I'm going to mix it just a little bit more. We want to make sure everything is incorporated well. Right? And here is where Aniya is going to add the water. Regular tap water is fine, bottled water is fine, but it has to be cool, right? We're not going to use the spoon head. We are going to use the spoon handle, rounded tip, right? And I'm going to show you why. Because you need a solid object that'll stir it, because the dough really does get sticky, and we're going to have several different components to the dough. So this stick is actually what we are going to use. Pour the water in, Aniya. All of it, baby. Thank you very much. We're gonna put the bowl over there. We're gonna let Aniya start the stirring, and then I'm gonna take over for her. I'm going to move this out of our way. Okay. So we're gonna keep stirring. The dough is going to be a sticky dough at this stage. So bear that in mind, right?
Yes.
We're gonna take the spatula. We're gonna scrape off all the excess dough. We're gonna put that over to the side. And we are going to cover, I need to wipe my hands. We're going to cover the dough.
Then we have to put the timer on.
We're gonna cover the dough with the plastic wrap. Good job, Aniya. For how long?
50 minutes.
50 minutes, right? So,
This is the quick start.
set it and forget it. We're gonna do this for 4 times. That is what is going to give your baguette bread that yummy, tasty, chewy bite, right? 50 minutes 4 times. We'll be back.
The first 50 minutes are completed.
Hooray! Now we're going to take the dough out. It is going to be sticky. What you can do is wet your spatula. We're gonna take the dough out. We're gonna pour it onto the surface. Do not add any flour yet, right?
Yes.
We're gonna take the dough out. At this stage, I am going to wet my hands, just like the spatula. So the dough is not sticky, right? We're gonna knead it, not much. It is going to be very sticky. But this is what gives that chewy, yummy flavor of the baguette bread, right?
Yes.
It is going to be very sticky. So we're just going to knead it a little bit. We're going to take the spatula out for Mama. Put it on that side, honey.
Over here?
Yep. All we're doing is creating air pockets in it, right? Right? And we're going to put it back into the bowl, right?
Yes.
Right?
Extra scrap.
I'm going to get exactly, Aniya. Your dough cutter is going to scrape all the excess dough back in, because we have to let the dough rise again. Another 50 minutes. It is sticky. It is going to be sticky dough, right?
Very sticky.
Sticky. I'm going to wash my hands, and we are going to put the dough back for another, how long, Aniya?
50 minutes.
50 minutes. The timer. I will get a new
Timer.
plastic wrap.
That's the timer.
We have the timer on. And we are going to set it and forget it. Actually, we're not gonna forget it at all. We're about to go do something else. Where's the timer, honey bun?
Right here.
We're gonna seal it. Oh, did you start it? Start. We're gonna start the timer again. We'll be back. Now we're going to take it off again. You can see. Spatula.
Spatula time.
We're gonna knead it again, just a little bit. I'm gonna wet my hands.
Gotta wet this over here.
I'm gonna take the dough cutter. And we are going to set it for how long, Aniya?
50 minutes. Again.
Get the clock, the stop. We're gonna put it back in. Now that you have allowed your dough to rest for 4 consecutive sequences of 50 minutes each, your dough is now ready to start working with, right? If your dough is still too sticky at this stage, you can add a little bit of flour, but we really need a well floured surface at this point here, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna work the dough. Anaya, I'm gonna do 3 French breads or baguettes, and I am gonna allow you to roll 1, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna take the dough now. We're gonna do some light kneading, not too much again, because that makes the dough heavy and we don't wanna make it heavy. So the dough should still be quite soft to touch, you see?
Yes.
Our bread cutter, you wanna press it down for me? We're gonna try to get 4 even portions. This is for home, so unless you really want it exactly the same, you could use a scale to make sure all of your dough portions are evened out. However, you can eyeball it, that's just fine, right? So I'm gonna give Anaya 1 dough. You're gonna work with that one, honey, and I will work with these 3, right? So stay over here. We have to make sure your section is floured. Make sure your surface is well floured, right? So now we are going to what is called pre-roll the dough. You listening, baby?
Yes.
So we're gonna start from the middle. Start from the middle, put your hands in there, and we're just gonna press down, right? We're gonna press down again. Use just your fingers at the tip. We're gonna press down again. We're gonna press back.
So back
Yep,
here.
we're gonna press back here. We're gonna press out here. We're gonna press down. We're gonna press down. Keep pressing. After you do this a couple times, you'll get the hang of it. If you don't have enough time, because you know life is so busy and we don't have enough time to let the dough sit, you don't have that 50 minutes 4 times in your day. What you can do, you can actually do the dough in the evening and take and put it in the refrigerator covered overnight, and then the next morning you can work with the dough. It'll give you that same yummy flavors, and a lot of bakeries do that, right? So after we get the dough like this, we're gonna fold it in on itself, right? We're gonna fold it in on itself. Yes?
Yeah, turn it.
We're gonna turn it over, and then we're just gonna shape it. We're gonna shape it a little bit. Then we're gonna take some more flour. I want you to sift, Anaya. Let me show you. I'm gonna do my station. And we're gonna put the pre-rolled, do your area. Hit it a little harder, honey. A little harder so the flour comes out. Good. We're gonna take your dough and we're gonna put it here, right?
On the flour?
On the flour. And we're gonna leave it right there, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna do this one again now, and this is the faster version. You're gonna do, this is what is called the pre-roll. Well floured. You're gonna put it there. And then great job, Anaya. Great job. Gonna knead it out. Then we're gonna fold it on itself. See? And all of the dough, they're pretty much just about the same. Now we're going to take a new sheet of plastic wrap and lightly oil it. Regular canola oil, olive oil is fine. Lightly oil it. And then you're gonna take that and cover your pre-rolled dough, keeping them separated because they have to rise again. You have to cover it, especially if you have a cool house and depending on where you are geographically. So, and we are now going to leave this for how long, Anaya?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. We'll be back. Okay, now that we have allowed our pre-rolled dough to rest for another 20 minutes, this is Anaya's dough and I'm gonna work with these 3. You right, baby?
Yes.
Okay, so let me do it first. The dough is going to be very soft, right?
Very soft.
So we are going to, one second, pay attention, and then I'm gonna show you again. Make sure your surface is well floured. We're gonna turn the dough over and we're gonna start to again spread it out with our hands, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna spread it out with primarily your fingertips to get all, you're gonna feel a lot of air pockets, right?
Yes.
We're gonna turn it over one more time. And now we're gonna fold the dough. Fold the dough. You're gonna use the palm, the base of the palm of your hand, and you're gonna squish it down. You're gonna squish it down. And this is where what is called that baker's kush. I'm probably saying it wrong, but that's okay. Kush, kush, comes in. So we're gonna roll it out, shape it out, but this is where this comes in. Again, you can basically use I have a brand new pillowcase, a cotton pillowcase, 100% cotton pillowcase, but this has to be well floured. So you're gonna flour it. So when the dough sits on it, it does not stick to it again, right? We're going to pick it up and then we're going to just position it on it. Then we're going to cover it. We're gonna bring this up, right? So we have one, right? This is where all that extra flour is gonna come in. Ready, Aniya?
Yes.
So we're gonna work with yours now. We're gonna take yours, going to move it just a little bit, right? Put it here. And we're gonna start to spread it out with our hands. We're gonna spread it. Just your fingertips, right? We're gonna turn the dough over. You're trying to push it into a long, you know how the French breads, it's that long shape.
Yes.
Yeah. You're just using your fingertips to spread it out. You feel all those air pockets?
Yes.
Feel like little bubbles inside, right?
Yes.
That's the yeast action. So we can turn it over again. You have to look at it because we want a pretty bread. Right?
Yes.
So when you get that, now you're going to take the corner and roll it. Right, we're gonna roll it, pressing it down a little bit. We're gonna roll it a second time. Roll it a second time. Because your little hands are small, you could turn it this way. Use this portion of your hand, this, just a little. We're gonna press it, but we're gonna press it pretty hard. But they seal together, right? And then let me do mine. I have to catch up to you, right? And then we're going to roll it one more time, a half a roll. So we get that nice long shape. It's really nice having little helpers. I remember when I lived with my aunt in New York, she taught me so much about cooking and baking. So then we're gonna pick it up lightly. You can shape the end. Right, your end is a little
mushy.
No, it's fine. It's perfect, right? Try to get them all the same size. We're gonna take it now and put it again, and then bring it up again. Because remember, they're gonna rise. They are going to rise again. So let me bring that to you. Whoop. Yeah. And then we have one more.
One more.
So we're gonna remember which one is yours. Then we're going to do the last one. Are you having fun yet?
Yes.
And remember, clean hands. Clean hands. This is a wonderful opportunity to cook with your children.
Hey.
You're gonna fold it on itself again. Use the palm of our hand, give it a half fold, and again we're gonna section it so each dough have its own section.
Have to put the flour over.
Again, we're gonna put it down again. Now you're going to need a regular tea towel, a regular kitchen towel, and you're going to cover your rolled out baguettes now for another 20 minutes. So set your clock again for another 20 minutes. Set the clock, the timer, Naya.
Got it?
Yep. And we will be back again.
Bye.
When you've completed the last 20 minutes, you will then put your oven on to bake at 400 degrees and allow it to heat for 12 minutes. We're gonna set the timer again for 12 minutes. Your bread should still be covered down, and you are going to place a pan of water at the bottom of the oven. This would allow a steaming property, and you're going to see later on, I'm also gonna use the spray bottle to spray the baguettes when they get in the oven. That will allow you to have that yummy crust that we all love. Okay? Our last 12 minutes are finally done. Okay? We are going to move, and you're going to see that the bread has risen, and this is just a piece of cardboard covered in foil to create a flipping mold for the dough so we don't mess with the shape. Right? So we are going to put it here, Anaya, and we are going to flip it. Flip it on to the tray. Then we are going to bring it over. Let's do Anaya's so we can get hers baking. Okay, we're gonna do this. Take it under here. Oh, I almost dropped it, baby. Then we're going to put it here. Right? Here is where we're going to score it. If you, of course, you've had French bread, you know that it has slices coming down or one long slice coming across. What this does, it allows the bread to rise and bake evenly. So I like to cut it, make sure your knife is sharp. I like to cut it across. I like the way that looks. Get down deep enough that it will, right? Would you like the same thing, honey?
Yes, please.
Okay. We're gonna score it. And this is where you can help. And now we're gonna take the spray bottle. You're gonna give it 2 sprays, just lightly, right? 2, right? I'm gonna spray on top of the bread, not close. We're just adding some mist, a full spray. Right? 2 each. Okay, right? You wanna pick it up for me? Okay. The oven is hot, so be careful. It's preheated, and we're also going to spray inside of the oven to create a nice steaming effect. This will also allow the crust of the dough to take shape. You're going to leave the dough in for 8 minutes, and then you're going to rotate the pan so that way it can cook evenly all across. Hi, Anaya.
Hi.
Are you gonna sit there and watch the bread rise?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. Our first 8 minutes are done. So we are going to turn the pan around. Gonna put it back in. We're gonna spray one more time for another 8 minutes or so, or golden brown. We are finally finished our homemade bread. Great job, Anaya.
Good job to you too.
Great job to me too. Are you ready to taste?
Yes, I am.
It's still a little warm. The house smells amazing. Are you gonna do the dance you were doing when I took everything out the oven?
What? Yes. Okay.
She was jumping around the kitchen like, yes, 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 it's done. The house smells amazing, amazing. So, which one? Can we cut yours? Yep. This was the one she rolled out. You can hear all of that wonderful. If you could zoom in, you see all of the air pockets.
It's so yummy.
The crust is crunchy and the inside is soft. We normally have it with cheese or
vinegar
and olive oil. Right? Want to pick a piece? I will take the balsamic vinegar. Want to taste?
I'll take it with it. Tasty.
It's very good. It's so good. My other children are like, Mommy, hurry up, because they want some. Cheers, Aniya. Great job, honey. We hope you'll try this wonderful recipe. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. My mouth is full
Thumbs up.
of bread. Subscribe to our channel, Franka's Fab Family. And don't forget to hit the notification button so you will get a notification every time we upload a new video. I'm so sorry, my mouth is full. French bread. You can really make it at home.